This presentation is on Brightspace Basics Training for faculty. This next screen talks about contact information and important URLs. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go into my browser, and I'm currently logged into my Scranton. Okay, but the first thing I'm going to do is open up another browser session, and I'm going to go to www.scranton.edu/LMS, which was one of the URLs that was on the previous slide. I'm going here because I want to go over the Brightspace policies and procedures, and that document is right here. So I'm going to click on it to open it up so that I could read through some of the information on it. Okay, I actually don't need it in Word. Let me get out of Word, and if I click on it, oh, it's actually a document. Okay. All right, so I have to go into it in Word. Okay, so the first thing that I want to point out is course creation. A course shell will automatically be created for all courses taught at the University of Scranton for a semester 45 days before the semester begins. Okay, so that's important. My courses widget, I will show you how to filter and pin courses once we get into Brightspace. Rolling over and copying course content, we have the procedures on how to do this right here. So you can read those. A lot of times once you prepare a course, you will just want to roll the content over from one course to another. Okay, so you have that ability. Scrolling down, merging course rosters. You have the ability, if you would like, to merge your courses. So let's say, for example, you're teaching 3 courses that are the same but different sections. You could complete the merge course form, okay, and indicate that you want to only have one course created for all of them. So you only have to put the information in once. If you do that, you do have the ability to see the different sections, like just the students that are in one section in the course, or just the students who are in another section. So the information is separated, so you can find that. When you request to have a merged course, the new course will be named something like this: MRG_biology 111-1 _biology 111-10, that's section 10. And an important thing here is time frame for submitting a merge request. 4 weeks before a term starts, the form is up and running, and it'll stay up until 2 weeks after the term starts. So it's a small window there that you go into. The instructions are right here. You'll go into the portal, My Scranton, and under the faculty tab and under academics channel, there's a link there for merge course rosters. The next thing that I want to point out here is course enrollment and deletion. 3 weeks before classes begin, rosters are automatically populated, so you don't have to worry about that. Faculty do have the ability to remove users, do not have the ability to remove users from the roster. The D2L and banner sync. Our systems sync 2 times a day, 1:00 p.m. and 3 a.m. So if a student drops your course, they go to the registrar's office, they take care of their business, they may still appear in your class list until the systems sync and they get taken out. See students' access to courses. 3 weeks after the end date of the course is unavailable to students. Okay, you as a faculty member always have access to your course, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so that's that for policies and procedures. So the next thing that I would like to show you is you will go into, to get to Brightspace, I can actually close this out. You would actually go into Brightspace. First of all, you would log into the portal, okay, and then you would go over here to this waffle icon, click on that, and Brightspace is right here. So this is the quickest way to get into Brightspace. Okay. Now, once I'm in Brightspace, I'm currently at the home page for Brightspace. I'm not in a course home page right now. Okay. These areas here are called widgets. There's a news widget. Over here you have faculty resources. There are lots of tutorials. Very good resources here. This document, Creating a Course from Scratch, is a great document that you could refer to that has each area of Brightspace in it. Also down here we have a link to syllabus statements that you could put into your syllabus. I'm going to scroll down. Now if you read this information in, say, the news widget, you do have the ability to collapse this after you have read it. It is important information, so you should read it. It's put in there by the administrators. So I'm going to scroll down, and I want to get to this widget right here called My Courses widget. Okay, this is going to be where your courses will show up. My courses are showing up in here, but if they weren't, and each semester you may have to do this, you would go down here to say View All Courses. You would come up here to Filters, filter by a semester. I'm going to choose Spring 2023, and now my courses appear here. So if I see a course that I want to pin to my courses widget, I come up here and I click on these three dots and I choose Pin. That will pin that course. I'm not going to pin it, but that would pin my course to My Courses widget. So if you come in and you don't see your course in the My Courses widget, always know that you should view all courses and filter. Okay, when you're done, you could just X out of there, and that's that. Now for this training, I'm going to be using a test course. It's called Test Course Aileen 2. So I'm going to click on that. Now you can see it's pinned because you see this little pin here. If I wanted to unpin it, I have the ability to click on those three dots and do that. Okay, so I am going into my course, and now I'm at the course homepage in Brightspace. Notice you have a menu of all sorts of options at the top. I have widgets. So I have a news widget, a calendar widget, etc. From here, I am going to talk about, there's a banner at the top, and I'm going to go across some of these items to show you what they are. Okay, so first you have your course home. That's where we are right now. We have a content area. This is where the majority of the content in your course will reside, and I'll be adding some stuff to that. Discussions. I have a few discussion forums. This is where you go to create discussion forums if you want to create them. Dropboxes. Dropboxes are used for electronic submissions. I have a few in here. Okay, quizzes. This is where you would go to create a quiz. Grades. This is where you go to see your grade book. You can see all my entries here. Class progress. This is where you go to see how your students are doing. So I could, for example, click on a student's name, and I can drill down into any of these areas that are on the left-hand side to see what the student has been doing. So I can click on Dropbox. I could see the Dropboxes they submitted. I'm able to open them from here as well. Okay, that's class progress. Class list. This is where you'll see your roster of students appear. Okay. And resources. Under resources, you have the full-blown email system within D2L here. This is where you access rubrics if you wanted to. There's a virtual classroom, etc. Now what I want to show you first is under class list, which is where I'm at right now. I want to talk about email. Okay, there are two ways that you could send email from within Brightspace. One quick way is through the class list. You come into the class list, you click email class list. That's going to email everyone. Okay, you don't have the choice to choose. I click on send email, and it comes up with a compose new message box. Notice that all of the students' names are in the BCC field, and that's where you want them so that each student doesn't see the other students that this message was sent to. notice that your subject line is preceded with the name of the course, which is important because then the student knows what course this email came from. So I could type in here a welcome message, and in the body just type welcome, and then I would click send. Now I'm not going to send mine, so I'm just going to cancel it. So that's a very quick way to email your entire class list. Now, the other way that you would email your class list is you would come under Resources, click Email, and this is your email system just like your Outlook is on your desktop. You have a sent, mailbox, drafts, trash, inbox, okay? If you want to send a student an email, you click on Compose, then you would click on Address Book to get the recipient names, and if I scroll down, my class roster is underneath here. If I want to send it to all of my students, I could click this. If I only want to send it to one, I can click that. Then the next thing you have to do is click on the word TO. This isn't that intuitive, but you have to remember to click on TO, and what it does is it pulls that recipient's name back into the To field, and now I can say Add Recipients. And now you could see that in the To field, my student's name appears there. I could put a subject in here, you know, whatever I want to put, welcome, put my text in here, and then I would click send. Now I'm not going to send it, so I'm going to cancel. Now an important thing about email is that if you are in Brightspace and you send an email, it's going to go into the inbox of the course for the student. Okay, the student will get it in the inbox in that course. They will also get a copy in their Outlook mail. Okay, now if a student replies from within D2L, say they go into their inbox and they get an email and then they reply to it, it's going to go into your inbox in your course inbox. If the student replies from Outlook, okay, when that email comes back to Brightspace, Brightspace doesn't know what course to associate it with. So what it does is it throws it into a big bucket called No Course Association. So when you're in your email as a faculty member, there are two filters that you're going to always want to look at so that you don't miss any email. One is the filter of the course, and you could see that this is my course name is right here. The other one is the No Course Association. So when I click on that, you could see I have a number of emails in there that were sent back, you know, from students. So just so that you don't miss emails, just always look at those two filters. Okay, I'm going to go back to the course. And when the student replies to an email, you will get a copy of it also in your Outlook mail. Okay, so that's just important to remember. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the content area, and I'm going to show you, first of all, how you would add a module. So if you were building your course, you would come down here and click on Add a Module, and then I'm going to type in there syllabus, and it creates a module called syllabus, and it puts me in that module. Okay, now if I wanted to, maybe I made a mistake, if I wanted to delete the module, I would just click on that down arrow and click delete module. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a mock syllabus file. So I'm going to click on New. Notice you can upload files, you could create a file, create a link, etc. So I'm going to click on Upload Files, and I'm going to find the drive where my files are being stored. Not here. Okay, let me see. You can upload files. Oh, upload. Sorry. Okay, so I click the upload button, and then I have a file on my flash drive called Mock Syllabus for D2L course. I click on that, and then I say Add. And now in this module, this file resides. If I made a mistake, again, I could click on the drop down, and down at the bottom, there's a delete topic. Okay. Now, the next thing that I will show you is, let's take a look at, we looked at discussion forums and we looked at drop boxes. So if I'm in my content area, and let's say I created a discussion forum by going under here, or I created a Dropbox by going under here, and now what I want to do so that the students only have to look in the content area for everything. They don't have to be clicking on discussions, Dropbox, excuse me, quizzes. What you want to do is you want to add an existing activity. So I'm going to click on Add Existing Activity, and I'm going to add a Dropbox that's already created. So it finds the Dropboxes that are created. I click on the one I want, and now that's in there. So it makes it very nice to add existing activities so that everything is in this area. Now really, I wouldn't have put a Dropbox in the syllabus module. I would have probably created another module, like I have here, assignments, Dropboxes for TechCons, and I probably would have added that existing activity in there. It would be more appropriate. So if I wanted to, I could delete it. Okay. Okay. The other thing that I want to point out, this is probably your most important area, is the content. This is where everything will be. And you could get, there's plenty of assistance for you to get help creating any of these things, discussion forums, Dropboxes, quizzes, set up your grade book, okay, that sort of thing. And again, as I said, the Dropbox feature is used for electronic submissions. Excuse me. We also can do video recording. You have the ability to use video recording software from within D2L called Panopto to record videos. Okay, and if that was something that you wanted to do, we could help you get that set up. Our department has a recording room that is soundproof, where if you want, faculty can come to do a video recording. Okay, or you could always do it in your office too through Panopto. That's not a problem. Okay, in closure then, I would just like to say that excuse me, if you need technical assistance, you now have our contact information. We have Brian and I are in the department, and then we have the group of technical students who are really, really helpful. So that concludes my presentation on Brightspace.